exclusive insights, inspiring conversations, and of course, creative ideas. We're here to, sir, please join us on stage. Sir, please join us on stage.
All the distinguished when we launched the Startup India movement in 2016, 1,000 startups in India, and the funding, which then used to be about 5 to 6 billion, has moved to about 155 billion in India, and startups are now 5% to India's GDP. So the startup story in India is really a testament, a powerhouse, and startups have been driving a lot of innovation in partnership with the private sector, with young entrepreneurs, to simplify all regulate the fund of funds of 10,000 crores, which was operated by Fund of Fund took the risk along with alternative investment funds. So venture funds were investing in startups, but the risk of the venture, about 28,000 startups registered on the government platform. The government must be the first buyer, and the government must be the first buyer. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are in the midst of a lot of geopolitical turmoil. Continue to do disruption in a very big way, and startups in India continue, and there are very, very dynamic young startups. If you look at Dhruv, if you look at Agnikul, if you look at Cosmos, Sky, areas of artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, big data, they must get into some of AI in areas of deep tech will be for deep tech, and you will have the fund of fund for startups getting replenished by 10,000 crores. But to my mind, the future really lies in India becoming a champion of deep tech, and therefore digital identity, which has enabled us to build up a very, very strong digital public infrastructure movement. As the only country in the world which provides fast payment, which does credit, which does stock market, which does insurance, all with are talking about massive amount of investment, and that huge amount of investments by AI race has just begun, and Indian startups must demonstrate their great ability with limited hardware computing ability, energy consuming power. What is going to happen is that AI is going to consume a lot of power, a huge amount of power in the days to come. In fact, according to International Energy, the world is going for possible and making quantum jumping possible. And therefore, it's very important that for India to maintain its sovereignty in technological advancement and leading from the front, we must not become a technological colony of either the West or of any other country in the world. We must continue to innovate in a very nimble, in a very less energy consuming, cost effective manner. We must do more for less, like ISRO has done in the case of space. I mean, ISRO could do, launch itself, go into the space, land in the moon at lower cost than what even a Hollywood movie like Galaxy could cost. And therefore, doing more for less is critical, and this is only what the startups can do. So open source will be the way forward. We must convert software with limited hardware. We must build sovereign frontier models which are based on our own data sets and do not have inherent biases of the West. If we go with Western models, we lose our culture, our identity, we will lose our civilizational strength. And therefore, it's important that we must build on Indian data, on the data of our citizens, and we must build end-to-end AI ecosystems and not just the application layer. We also have a large number of languages, 22 languages. We have a huge number of dialects in India, and therefore our models must be multilingual. bilingual and multimodal in the days to come. We must be able to, exactly like what we have done with Bhashni, where a person living in a rural area can fill up its form using its voice. We must be able to make voice in all dialects, in all languages possible, and that only AI will be able to do. So ladies and gentlemen, these are days of huge disruption. India must demonstrate that we are willing to make the quantum jump forward in deep tech. We are able to make a huge disruption in areas of space, in areas of drones, in areas of battery, in areas of clean technology. I'm making these points because if you look at China today, they control about 70% of the solar market. They control about close to 74% of the battery market. They are controlling about close to 80% of the electric vehicle market. And therefore, these are areas where it will be very, very important to India to make a very big breakthrough. These big breakthroughs will not come in from established companies. Established companies will continue to keep doing the same thing. It will be the young startups which will make all the difference, and therefore deep tech will be very critical for India. Artificial intelligence for India, sunrise areas of growth of mobility, battery storage, green hydrogen, circular economy, all these are huge areas of opportunity for all of you. So ladies and gentlemen, my view is that when future generations write the history of India, they must mark this decade as the moment when India transformed from merely being a service provider to a global innovator, and being a global innovator will only happen with our young startups of today. So the government of India has done its best. Government of India has created the fund of funds. It will create the fund for deep tech. It will create a huge clean tech manufacturing ecosystem, but it's for the young entrepreneurs to carry out all the disruption in the world. And we are all here to support you, to back you, and we are all here to motivate you. And I'm truly delighted to be here as a part of this Mahakumbh, which is a very exciting opportunity. No country in the world has such an extraordinary level of startups as India has. No other country has this ecosystem of startups which India has. No other country has this ability to put the young startups with venture fund and with the fund of funds all together, which India has been able to do. And it's now for the young startups to carry out all the disruption in the world. One last point I want to make, and that is that whatever you do, a good corporate governance must be a very key and critical part of it. Many of you are engaged in disruption. Many of you are constantly innovating, and then you forget the governance part of it. But good governance must become a very critical part of this, because governments must be kept at arm's length. If governments have to be kept at arm's length, self-regulation will have to be critical. And for self-regulation to happen, all of you must really believe that as you move forward, there must be ethical governance, there must be good audits, and there must be good financial management as well. Infosys was once a startup which has gone on to become a huge monolithic company simply because they were able to bring in good corporate governance. And therefore all of you must, as you grow and expand and become bigger and bigger and bigger, top-class corporate governance must be a very critical component of all this. So I wish you all the best. I wish you all success, and I wish you all progress and prosperity in the days to come. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you please give a big hand for Shri Amitabh Kanji one more time? Amitabh sir, thank you so much for that inspiring address. And sir, I request you to please be on stage with us. As now I request Mr. Sumit Jarangal, Director, DPIIT, to come up on stage to felicitate Mr. Kant. Mr. Kant, thank you so much for joining us here at Startup Mahakumbh. Big hand, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, big hand for the gentlemen for always inspiring us. All right, Karunya, are we all set for the next one?
All set, all set. And
Check.
in
fact, our next session is going to be a very, very exciting one. It takes us into the realm of what is cutting-edge technology, strategic national defense, and this panel is going to explore how space and defense sectors are setting the stage for India to emerge as a global superpower.
I am absolutely excited for space and defense, truly an area that I look forward to. Ladies and gentlemen, this session is moderated by the distinguished Rear Admiral retired Shekhar Mittalji, whose leadership in maritime and defense innovation is widely recognized. This discussion features experts like Mr. Arjun Rao, renowned for his strategic insights at Special Invest, Dr. Vinod Kumar, whose work at InSpace is shaping India's space ambitions, and Mr. Arun T. Ramachandran, a key leader at L&T. Please give them a big hand, everyone.
Just give us a couple of moments. We're just setting up real quick
Just
for...
clearing up the stage for it. And all the young leaders who are sitting here in the house, let me tell you that this is the right opportunity to grab as much as you can, as we have got the right leaders for you here at the Startup Mahakumbh 2025.
Yeah. LSD. Okay, there we have our stellar panel is ready to go. Once again, I'd like to welcome all of you on stage. Our moderator for the day is Mr. Shekhar Mittal, Rear Admiral, retired, co-founder and executive director, Ricky's Marine. Mr. Arjun Rao, partner at Special Invest, Dr. Vinod Kumar, director at InSpace, and Mr. Arun T. Ramchandani, executive vice president at L&T. Give a huge round of applause once again. Thank you.
Big hand for all the panelists, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Good morning, gentlemen, ladies. My privilege to be hosting this particular session. My special thanks to my co-panelists, very, very distinguished panelists, right? I have with me, starting with Mr. Ramachandani. He is the Executive Vice President of L&T, has over almost about 40 years of service and heading L&T in various mega projects, right? And then we have also Dr. Vinod Kumar. He is director InSpace. You will hear a lot about this particular agency, which has done remarkable work in last 4 years in opening up the space as far as NGE is concerned, non-government entities are concerned, the regulatory side of the space, commercialization of the space activities. We will know more from him. And then also we have from the without whom nothing happens really. The startup industry doesn't move, and we have a very is the partner Special Invest. In fact, it's one of the doing a wonderful job and promoting the defense startup space side, right? So before I start with it, may I request my panelists to start, just to give a very brief introduction of all of you.
Okay, good morning. You'll be wondering what an old company like Larsen is ecosystem. Companies like ours recognize the strength of the startup community, and it can be leveraged both for the growth of the country and for companies like ours. So we do engage strongly with the startup community. We do look at them as a great source of innovation and as a great driver of growth for tomorrow's economy. And, about myself, okay, wonderful, happy to do that. So my name is Arun Ramchandani, and I head the Precision Engineering and Systems business of L&T. I've been working with L&T for the last 40 years. We have a significant business in the defense and aerospace. L&T as a trainee. We began the defense our own products, and today we have created about $1 billion industry, maybe 35 years down the line, in that sector. So that's a brief introduction about myself.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vinod Kumar. And something on in-space also you can particularly cover.
Yeah. Thank you, dear Admiral Sir. Very good morning all. How many of you know in space? Please raise your hand. Very few know. So it's the right thing you have told that I should tell. Yeah, I am Dr. Vinod Kumar. Basically, I am Director Promotion Directorate at Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center. So it's very nice. First of all, thanks to the organizers for bringing out such a nice panel discussion. So in space, you know ISRO, ISRO, how many of you know? Yeah, couple of. So see, before 2020, ISRO was doing every activity in space. Means they are launching satellite, making satellite, and having own orbital slots, etc. But it was in 24 June 2020 when Honorable Prime Minister announced the space sector reform, where each company, those who were early working as a vendor or new companies, can take up any activity in space which ISRO was doing. So it was a dramatic shift. Any Indian citizen can carry out any space activity under the sun in the space sector. So that is the brief, wherein you can make your own launch vehicle, you can launch your satellite, manufacture your satellite, do the data analysis, take the data, take the orbital slot. So there is a dramatic shift. Now there was a requirement to have a space regulator, because this activity has to be regulated. So that was the purpose that Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center was formed. We are basically a regulator of space, but promotion is required because our industry is at a nascent stage. So various things are there. We will cover strategies, how we can become the next global giant from India. I am Director Promotion, heading Promotion Directorate at InSpace. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Arjun, please.
Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, Admiral Sir, for having me and, as part of these esteemed gentlemen, right? We're an early stage venture capital firm investing in deep technology ideas. I think Amitabh Kant sir previously talked about the criticality of deep tech for our country at this point in time across multiple sectors, but particularly within and space tech. We've been running Special Invest now for about 8+ years, have made close to 40 investments across multiple cutting-edge sectors that are at the intersection of engineering, hardware, sciences, and software. Usually some intersection of these things coming together to solve really complex problems is our base definition of deep tech. We've been fortunate and lucky enough to particularly have a strong presence and exposure to the space and defense startup ecosystem. We were very early investors in the space tech startup landscape in this country in 2018. Maybe, sir, we were a little impatient and we invested even before in-space policy was put, but we invested in a company called Agnikul Cosmos, which was, 100% 3D printed rocket from IIT Madras in 2018. We have since then gone on to invest in Earth observation satellites, communication satellites, quantum cryptography, and other space tech solutions. We're possibly the most active space tech investor in this country with 6 investments in that domain, and hope to do more, many more in the future with the support of InSpace and the ecosystem. Of course, none of this would be possible without sort of, riding on the shoulders of giants such as ISRO or even LLT for that matter, right? The talent pool and this ecosystem, right? So we're very excited. We're of course doing things in energy, green hydrogen, in defense and communication as well. 40 plus companies, 8 years, a little more than $100 million that we have accessible to us. But what every day is working with young entrepreneurs who are trying to, young and old entrepreneurs for that matter, who are trying to change the landscape of Indian defense and space tech, and for India to be a very, very strong force. So thankful to be here, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, thank you. So basically, let's get into the subject for the day, the next giants from India. Yes, being an optimist and a co-founder of Rakesi Marine, a company which has won the first Aditi 1 contract, right? And this is for the design of XL UUV, which is extra large unmanned underwater vehicle, right? Project has been given in an open competition by IDEX, will come on later for those who are not aware of it, by MOD, right? Ministry of Defense, Indian Navy. Entire vessel, as I said, will be powered by a totally indigenous software developed in-house by years for the project. The next important point to note is which are the other companies world over who are doing this? Big giants like Boeing, like ELTA, like the Naval Group who are working on this system. And if these are the type of projects which are being to startups like us, Rakesi Marine, and there are many, many others who are doing a phenomenal job. Certainly, as far as the space startup is concerned, we are on the right path, right? So it is a time for celebration.